just that simple. There's nothing that Kobe Bryant can't do. He will defend your best player. He will shoot from the perimeter. He will get all in your mug. He will do whatever it takes. He is the most complete basketball player in the game today, bar none. He has an assassin's mentality.
And in this corner, we have B. And weighing in at 220 pounds.
That is not accurate. We will talk about that later.
Oh.
Would you love me if I was 220 pounds?
More cushion for the push. No, wait, this is it's a family show.
And this is A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition.
Welcome everyone to the most must-see wrestling review show on YouTube. Welcome to A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition. All right, let's get into it. And I don't know why I have a microphone, so forget that. All right, so as promised, we're going to bring you the best and worst, the highlights of WWE's Smackdown Live and tonight's Worlds Collide, NXT versus UK. So, SmackDown Live, the highs and the lows. What did you like? What didn't you like?
Alright, so I'll start with the low. The low light, the girls fight. Sonya Deville, they need to let her loose. You know she could fight. She has the fighter background. She has a UFC background. They need to let her fight. They need to let her be the badass that she is. I like Mandy Rose, you know I do, I always have, but I just am so, you know, I don't like Alexa Bliss, you know I don't like Nikki Cross, and then to top it off, you have Bayley and Lacey come, and for a minute I was like, are Bayley and Lacey now friends? Because it was a tag team, and then you had two individuals come, and I don't know what was going on, but I didn't like it.
Well, the thing is, Lacey Evans was giving a very emotional speech with Michael Cole, and then, of course, Bayley attacks. They kind of spill out. I mean, it was a little messy, then it just kind of cuts right in the middle. Well, really at the beginning, not anyway. I don't know what that was, but you're right. It was kind of messy. I didn't particularly care for it. I, on the other hand, I don't know, I guess it's not fair to say that I'm a fan of The Fiend. Seeing it in person is much different than seeing it on television. Once everything goes red, it's really kind of hard to see on TV. It's really not that bad in person. But I don't know if I necessarily love the whole stabbing of the hand and signing the contract in blood. It's a lot of blood going on now with him and, of course, former Wyatt member Eric Rowan, with him reaching into that cage, and I don't know.
The bloody hand. Oh, they did both have a bloody hand.
Yeah.
Well, when he first signed it in blood, it wasn't that bad because the red light didn't let you see the blood. But then when they turned it on, it was a little gross, a little cool, but I don't know. It was a little much.
It was a little much. But I'll tell you what was a lot much, and this is how you kick off a show with the Usos! Man!
Yeah.
Bloodlines getting it on.
Yeah, man. Like I could just picture them in a school fight back in high school, just whooping. Because they're, you know, family are gonna be cohesive on a different level when they're in the ring than any other tag teams. And so the Usos have always been a very cohesive unit, you know. But to bring their cousin in, you see them and Roman just work so perfectly together, and you see they're professional, but the love is deep, and the talent is just, I loved it. It was awesome.
And it's about time. Okay, this is my personal opinion, but somebody out there, get this to the powers that be. You used to do this back in the day, and I've said this before, where it's not the 80s anymore, so I don't like big guys fighting jobbers like we've talked about. However, one thing I did like back in the day is bloodlines were always with bloodlines. When it comes to the Samoans, they were always together. So I say, let's go ahead and get this family back together. Nia Jax, Tamina, the Usos, Roman Reigns. They need to be a faction. People like factions. Just like we're about to talk about in Worlds Collide. I also feel the same for your mixed martial artists. I mean, again, Sonya Deville, she is good, and I don't think we're seeing her potential yet. So let's go ahead and get her. Let's get Shayna Baszler. I mean, again, let's get some legitimate factions. We're all this, we're all this, we're all that. And let's whoop some ass and take some names. This is what I want to see. I think it's going to be a good thing. So it's definitely a way to lead up to Royal Rumble. Just like Worlds Collide, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy, long, brutal.
That main event.
Main
I mean, every match was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Every
NXT.
match was good. And again, an interesting point, and we're probably going to see this on Raw and SmackDown. But as we know, Rhea Ripley is now just NXT champion. They got rid of women's, and it's just NXT champion. And there is a rumor, I believe, it hasn't been established at this point, that both Raw and SmackDown are going to do the same for their women's titles.
See, and my problem with that is that saying women's champion is not a bad thing. I'm starting to feel like we're coming to a place where being a woman, it means less than, or being a woman means is a bad word. And so women's champion, that's what you are. You're the women's champion, and being a woman is a beautiful thing. And I would be proud to be a women's champion. So I feel like they're taking it away. It's almost like you're saying that's a bad thing, and I feel like it's a little bit disrespectful.
They're dropping years and years and years of history. So I don't know, I'm on the fence. Obviously women have worked for years to get to a certain point in professional wrestling, and for them to just drop that, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I will say that that match was really good. And of course, Rhea Ripley came out on top. But going back to that main event between the Undisputed Era and the Imperium, man,
Crazy.
so good. So good. Yeah. I've never seen so many near falls in a match. And I gotta tell you, why, as decent as matches have been on both Raw and SmackDown, why do we not see this level of wrestling on either one of those shows? I just don't understand it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one little theory that just popped into my mind, and it could be totally crazy, and I know we need to wrap up. So here's my theory. On WWE, we have a lot of the legends, right? The older wrestlers. And a lot of them have been injured so much throughout the year that you gotta really, they can't be injured again or they're done. You have Nia Jax out, double knee surgery, double torn ACL, double torn ACLs. And so I feel like you first bring someone in NXT and they're willing to put it all on the line, and they're willing to do whatever they take because they're trying to get up to the main roster, and they're willing to do everything. But then by the time you get up there, we already have people in NXT wrapped up with braces and stuff. So it may be that by the time you get up there, you're like, man, I'm going to cut my career short if I don't start dialing it back a little bit.
So be it, because just like Nia Jax said on Total Divas, this is what you do, okay? You are professional wrestlers. Granted, it's entertainment and we're entertained, but you're also athletes, and you know for a fact that you're going to put your bodies on the line. You may take some years off your career. You may take some years off your body, but you know what? You're a wrestler when you step into that square circle. So go ahead, take your licks like a champion that you want to be, and be done with it, okay? That's how I feel about it.
Well, you've heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, we are heading into Royal Rumble tomorrow. We're going back to Dave & Buster's.
And let me tell you something, Dave & Buster. Ooh, yeah. You better not screw us again. Dig it. Yeah.
So we're excited to see it.
We're excited. We're excited. Royal Rumble, this is about to kick off WrestleMania season. So we're going to see what happens. Brock is going to be entering as number 1. Will he last and throw 29 other guys over the top rope, which I think is a little weird, that the champion is going to be in the Royal Rumble match when the whole point of winning that match is to face the champion. Brock cannot face himself. A Brock divided against himself cannot stand.
It's dumb. It's dumb, but whatever.
Thank you guys for watching another A&B Combos
Thank
Wrestling Edition, and we will see you at the Rumble.